there, I'm John Shields. Welcome to our very first episode of the Farm and Bay to Table series. We've been thinking about this for a while and putting something together that celebrates everything Maryland. There's so much amazing produce and seafood and orchards and dairies around the Bay that we were just thinking we need to do something to celebrate it. And when we're going to celebrate, we like to cook. That's the best thing that we could possibly do. So for today's episode, I'm going to be joined by Mary Hastler, who is the president and CEO of Harford County Public Library. And we have a well-known Harford County ice cream maker. And she comes up with all kinds of amazing flavors. So that's Kate Dallam of Brooms Bloom Dairy. So I don't know if you've been outside recently, but it is hot. I mean, it is so hot. So in summertime here in Maryland, it's time to get outdoors, cook, get the grill out, take things, go to the shore, whatever you want. So we're going to be assembling some dishes with iconic Maryland hot weather ingredients: chicken, seafood, crab, tomatoes, corn, everything. And last but not least, ice cream. So I don't know if any of you are up for lemon and peppermint sticks, but if you are, let's get cooking. So I would like, without any further ado, to introduce our co-host today and my co-cook and my sous chef, Mary Hastler. She's right here live in our kitchen.
Hi, John.
Hey, honey,
so
how
good
are
to
you?
see you.
It's good to see you.
This Baltimore girl is thrilled to be here, and I'm in John Shields' kitchen. Can you believe that?
We're right here. We're
Exactly.
right here. Well, we're both Baltimore.
That's so true. We actually grew up not too far from each other, which
That's
is so
true.
ironic.
I know, it's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yes, so
But-
this is exciting.
But we do know the food, and we know that you know the food. And if you're new to the area, we're hoping that we can kind of give you a little bit of hints, ideas, things that you can do with things that grow and swim and walk all around Maryland and the Chesapeake Bay. So for most barbecues, you know, when you get the grill fired up, yeah, we do steaks and we do this and the other thing. But in my house, they were always doing chicken. A lot of my relatives lived up in Baltimore County and Harford County. We're all farmers. So we would always have fresh chicken, and we'd have scrapple, and we have all
Scrapples. My husband's a fan of scrapple.
Yeah.
Loves it.
Yeah. So we always had things that were fresh and they came right from the farm. So chicken was always a big one. So I was thinking, you know, for a barbecue, or it could be even something like if we're out back. So you don't have a grill, you don't necessarily have a grill. What could we do? So I was thinking like a barbecue chicken that will work well either on the barbecue or in the oven, and then you can just bring out platters of it. Does that sound?
It sounds delightful.
So anyway, we got some delicious chicken. Now, I usually use fryers for this, you know, because the roasting ones are a little bit big. So if you get a fryer, it's a little smaller. And I generally like to do about an 8 cut. So that means that you're taking the breast and you're cutting it into 2 pieces, and then you have the drumsticks, and then you have the wings, and then you have some breast there too. So I mean, you have quite a number of things there. So what I like to do with it first, because everybody, I think a lot of people think that you get a barbecue sauce, you get the chicken, you put it all over it, you put it on the grill, or you put it in the oven, and bam, I'm done. That doesn't work so well, because what happens is the barbecue sauce usually has some sort of sugar component in it, and it burns.
And it burns.
So we don't want that. So I think what a good idea to do is just to marinate the chicken a little bit before I'm going to put it into the oven. So I'm going to get my handy dandy gloves on here. So when I'm tossing the chicken, we don't have such a mess. I'm going to take a little bit of canola oil. Just pour that all over there. And also going to add a little bit of olive oil. Now the olive oil, I'm using a lesser amount because it has a very low burn temperature. So if you want some stability, stay with a vegetable oil, a canola oil, and you want the flavor to come from the olive oil and not to be the entire thing. So I'm going to take some of my Irish sea salt. I always get some of the Irish sea salt, bring it home with me.
It's the best.
It is good. And then I'm going to take some fresh pepper. Now, you would think we sit right on the ocean. We should be able to do some Chesapeake or Maryland sea salt, shouldn't we?
I would think so.
I think we got to get working on it. And then obviously we have McCormick spices because we are. So I'm putting a little lemon pepper on this. I like the lemon pepper flavor on steaks, on chicken, sometimes on seafood. So you see, this is like really, really, really easy.
Nice. I would never think to use lemon pepper before the barbecue. That's intriguing.
Yeah, it'll give us a nice, like that. We're going to take a little bit here. Then I'm going to take just a little lemon.
I love lemon on chicken. It just really does something special to it.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And then the secret thing that my mother had in all of her chicken dishes, she'd always say, because she would often be out with the girls having cocktails or in something in the afternoon.
I would like your mom.
She called me up to have me put the food in. And so she said, Johnny, when you put in the chicken, and make sure you put a lot of paprika on it. So we're getting a little paprika on it.
The red sweet pepper, correct?
It's a red sweet pepper, and it gives a lovely color to the chicken as well.
My grandfather loved paprika. Loved it. Used it on everything.
Okay, so voila, we have that. I'm going to take this right over here, right around the corner, and throw this into the oven very quickly.
This is really easy to do, John. I mean, so far it's been very simple. Even I could do it.
Absolutely. Well, I most people, when I've written a number of books on the Chesapeake, and so many people come and they say, I love Chesapeake cooking because it's simple. Most people already have most of the ingredients on hand. It isn't like they have to go out and get all kinds of exotic, crazy things. Captain John Smith said that when they first sailed into the Chesapeake, the fish were so fresh and so plentiful, they attempted to catch them with frying pans. So I think that kind of set the tone of Chesapeake cooking. Keep it simple. Just let all the things come through.
Let the food speak for itself.
So, all right, we're going to make a little barbecue sauce here.
Okay.
Generally, a lot of barbecue sauces will have, especially up our neck of the woods, are going to have ketchup as one of the bases.
Now, do you have a preferred brand of ketchup that you use?
Well, in the old days, I used Del Monte, but Hunt's or whatever are all fine. Or if you actually have some of the books and you have recipes, you can make your own ketchup. Ooh. So that's not a bad thing either. All right, now here we have a little apple cider vinegar.
Nice.
And then going to take some brown sugar. Generally, most barbecue sauces, as we said before, have some sort of sweetening component in there. So
brown sugar makes everything taste
amazing. It's a good thing, isn't it? I'm going to put a little bit of water in here. It's about a quarter cup of water.
Okay.
Get rid of that there.
All right.
And then some Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, Worcestershire sauce.
Now, when I did some of my earlier cookbooks, I would be down the Pratt Library in the Maryland room looking up old recipes. And you'd be surprised how far back Worcestershire sauce goes. It's an English condiment. And so obviously, they were the first settlers here in Maryland. And they brought that sauce with them or variations of that sauce. So I find that it's in almost every single recipe, old-fashioned recipe, that they use the Worcestershire sauce. Okay, now we're going to put some more lemon. Because what do we have going on right now? We have a sweet and sour.
An acid, sweet, and sour. I love it.
So that it always. So I'm going to put.
And John does use a recipe too. He follows it.
I
do it.
I am following the recipe of sorts.
Of sorts.
I'm not always used to following recipes, but because we're doing this, I thought we might as well try to do that. Okay. So now we're gonna try to get this up to a bit of a boil here.
Now, are you on low, medium, or high heat?
I have this on high heat. I
High
have it
heat,
all
okay.
the way up for a number of reasons. One, we don't want people to have to be here until 11:30 tonight.
Well, they might want to be here, but I totally agree.
They could be. And two, because you see that it's kind of thin with the water, with the
Okay.
that. The idea is we're going to bring this down and thicken the whole thing up.
Okay.
All right, so here we have some delicious couple tablespoons of grated onion. There we go.
Now, do you use a fancy grater, or do you like what I do? I get a bowl and I have a flat thing that
Yeah,
just grate.
I usually just
Yes,
use that. Yeah,
And then you hurt your knuckles, right?
you do.
You
Yeah.
do. Okay.
I mean, growing up, I mean, I didn't know anything but a box grater my whole life, you
That's
know,
true.
that's all we had to grate. All right, now, how much of this garlic in there do they have?
1 teaspoon.
So it's 1 teaspoon. So I always use the fresh garlic. Now, if you don't like chopping garlic all the time, but you like to use it a lot, there's a couple of different things that you can do. You can say one day is garlic day, and you take a whole bunch of garlic, and then you put it into some jars and put a little bit of olive oil in it.
Oh,
Just a little bit, just to moisten it, not to for it to swim in it, just to moisten it. And you can keep it in the Frigidaire.
oh,
And anytime you need to use garlic, take a little teaspoon out and it's as good as new. So that's always a good way to do it.
now is that a special knife you're using? Because I know people are always interested in the utensils you're using.
Yeah, this is a Wusthof knife. That just happens to be something that I used for years and years and years, and I really like them.
It's very big. It looks really big.
It is, it's a chef knife.
Okay.
And so most people that cook or cook professionally, we use this for most things. And you'll have some that are even larger
Wow.
and one that might be, a smaller one. But this one I find, works really well for most recipes. The other thing that you can do when you're doing your garlic, when you have the whole clove, I just take it and press down on it and smash it first, and then it makes it so much easier to chop.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah. So we'll put that right in there. Okay. Woo.
It's really.
Ooh, it's pungent, isn't it?
It's
Whoop. Wow. And then we're going to put some dry mustard in there.
2 teaspoons.
Mhm. Again, this is another ingredient that goes way back to like the English
Really?
and a lot of things from the Caribbean too.
Oh, Caribbean, yes, I would think that.
So you get both of that in there. Okay, let's stir this.
I love the dish you have that in. That's vintage, isn't it?
What?
The little glass dish.
Oh, yeah.
That's vintage. I have one just like it at home.
So here we go. So it's smelling like a barbecue sauce.
It smells delightful.
We promise you every time that we are working on the technology for Odorama.
That would be awesome.
And that way, when we do the classes, you get to actually get the aroma as well. So that's pretty much it for it. I'm going to let it go for
Okay.
a few minutes. And then once it comes down, we want to let it go. It'll start to get darker and it'll get thick.
Mm.
So you see, that's kind of where we're going to kind of get with that. So I have this all ready to go. And then we can show how we do our little brushing with the
Okay.
chicken. And then we did it.
That was really easy.
It is easy. It really is easy. And I think when we're thinking about picnics or anything like that, you want it to be simple because you have people, you're entertaining people. You don't want things to be too complicated. And you can do this way ahead. You can make this, put it in the refrigerator 2 days ahead, do your chicken. And you could even make the chicken in the morning because if you're going to have it outside or a picnic, it doesn't have to be hot.
That's
Just
so-
room set.
Now, can you use boneless chicken if you wish?
You could.
Okay.
And I did a 8-cut chicken, right?
Sure.
Do anything that you like,
Okay.
wings or
The thighs are really yummy
Love
these days.
thighs.
Love thighs.
exactly. So you can do absolutely anything with
Okay.
that you like. Okay, so I'm just gonna move this off of here, off stage.
All right.
Then I'm gonna go
It smells
grab.
delightful.
It does
Just
smell, it
delightful.
does smell good. Let me get my official Maryland things here and grab a little bit of chicken.
Grab
here.
that, and oh my gosh, it's wafting through the kitchen, just the barbecue scents and melding all together. So
it's a hot
truly
pot.
amazing. Oh, here comes our chicken coming back.
Here's a chicken
Right.
back here. So now, normally,
Mhm.
we're doing this for our class and for the television kind
Sure.
of thing. So I would generally let this go for about 40 minutes
Okay.
before I actually put the
Sauce.
sauce on. You want to put the sauce on for about the last 15 minutes.
And that keeps it from burning, correct?
Yes,
And sticking to the bottom of the pan, which is always a pain.
exactly. That can be a
Okay.
real, so all you have to do at that point, when you have about 15 minutes left, you
Okay.
just brush this all on like so.
Looks good. Looks really good. Now, is that a special brush you're using or just? the
It's
normal?
just a pastry
Okay,
brush.
pastry brush.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine. Put that all over the top of there.
Looks good.
Okay.
And you cover everything.
No, I'm not going to cover it. I'm
All
going to
right.
just put it right in, just like this is. And we'll let it cook for a little bit longer. And then I'll show you what happens.
Okay.
I'll show you what happens after that.
Oh, the magic. I love
The
it when the
magic.
magic happens,
It's the
when
magic part.
everything melts together and becomes spectacular, which I think is happening right this moment.
Right
Oh my gosh,
now.
look at it.
Look at this.
Oh, it's beautiful. Wow, look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah. So anyway,
Uh-huh.
that's kind of what happens. Do you see how the sauce got
Yes.
dark and rich? Well, this is
Yes,
what it
it's
looks like.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It's almost like a mahogany.
It is,
feel
isn't
to
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's like a mahogany feel to it,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
All right. So
Wow.
we're going to put this over. I'll get this
Okay.
into the other room here
All right.
and we'll get those plated and later. We can see how everything looks. when
Oh my
it's plated.
gosh.
Okay.
Plating so important. Presentation is so important. It's something I've never really learned well, but my youngest daughter does it very well. So it's always nice to see a nice plate when you receive it.
It is. It's helpful.
Yeah, very helpful.
All right. Now this is the part where we need the mood music. As we kind of switch sets here,
Okay. We're
and
switching
try
sets.
to do it nice and gracefully,
Gracefully.
and it looks like everything is just
I love it.
totally
I like standing here feeling like I'm a real chef here, but
exactly, and you are.
but nobody's noticed. I haven't done anything, but it's awesome.
Well, I think you've given me a lot of moral support, but I have a lot more for you to do in just a little bit.
I'm good at cheerleading. Very good at cheerleading.
So stay tuned for that.
All right.
All right, now I'm going to get a little
Mhm.
towel and put a cutting board down here that we don't catch on fire. Hopefully,
Right.
it happens.
Making sure we turned everything off.
Yeah, we have everything off here. We promise. Okay, I'm gonna make sure that get that like that. Put this over here. All right, so that way we can put this here. And then we'll be ready to do a little bit more cooking, right?
Love it. Yes. So what is our next project we're working on?
What's our next one?
I bet you I have an idea what it's
Okay.
going to be.
Okay,
All right.
okay. Well, let's talk first about the theme of this show today. We wanted to highlight farms and everything throughout Maryland. And you and I were fortunate enough to be able to take a little field trip the other day up to Brooms Bloom Dairy. So I think we can actually take a look and see where we were.
Oh, great memories.
Yeah.
Great memories. All right, let's do that. That's fabulous.
Hi there, I'm John Shields. Maryland has been home to hundreds of small dairy farms in the past decades. And following in that tradition is Brooms Bloom Dairy in Harford County, which has operated as a farm since the 1700s. For the past 9 generations, the Dallam family has worked this land and more recently transitioned it into a small dairy farm. We recently headed out to Brooms Bloom for a tour with Kate Dallam and her daughters and niece who run the dairy operation. After meeting the mother cows and the baby cows, we learned how the local milk is produced, separated into whole milk and cream, and then bottled. Brooms Bloom is an iconic summertime favorite destination for Bel Air and Harford County residents. That's because their herd of dairy cows provide the milk for some out of this world amazing ice cream. In this farm and bay to table class, we'll meet dairy farmer, ice cream artisan, and cheesemaker, Kate Dallam, as we explore the wonderful world of Maryland picnic foods.
John, that was amazing. I had so much fun that day. And, you know, the cows, growing up in the city, I didn't have cows in my neighborhood, but they're just wonderful. And learning about the different type of cows and just the whole process. I mean, I'm so glad we were able to show that tonight.
I know, that was so much fun. And we got to finish it off very nicely
Yes,
as well.
we did.
But again, with no further ado, I really want to welcome, and we're so excited to be able to have Kate Dallam here today with us, the ice cream master and the woman that makes it all happen up at Brooms Bloom Dairy.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.
Really, really awesome.
Yes.
I was so excited. We've been talking about this for a long time, that we'd all get together and we can talk about ice cream, we can talk about food, and we can talk about the summertime. And so when I'm thinking about the summertime, before we get into the thing that everybody's waiting for, I love tomatoes in the summer. I mean, I could eat them. It's like, I mean, it is actually a fruit, you know, as opposed to a vegetable. And you can understand why that is, because you just keep wanting to eat them, eat them, eat them, eat them. So I got some tomatoes for us.
These are beautiful.
Look at these.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
These are Maryland Eastern Shore tomatoes, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is a beautiful thing to behold. And I know Mary. Mary loves tomatoes. She absolutely loves tomatoes. And come on in here.
Come on, Kate.
Oh, the tomatoes,
The tomatoes
the
over.
tomatoes need to
Okay,
Thank you, Director.
we have a director. We have a director,
be.
and hopefully our cutting board won't catch on fire this time.
So John asked me my favorite recipe for tomatoes, and my mom was an early organic gardener in Baltimore City, and she used to grow tomatoes, and we would go out, pick them, barely wash them off, slice them, a little salt and pepper, a little mayo if we had it in the house, and just eat them. And that's the way we've always done it. That is my family recipe for tomatoes. So, and John just laughed. He was like expecting something, I think, a little bit more sophisticated, but you know, that's the way we ate them. And now I get a little fancy. Sometimes I'll drizzle a little olive oil and some Italian seasoning, but that's when I'm getting really fancy.
Yeah,
Not very often.
Yeah.
and you?
Well, I had a grandmother who used to make tomato aspic, which was like
Ooh.
a Jello salad. At the time I did not appreciate it, but now I really wish she was around and she would make it for me again, because now I think I would love it. It is very unusual, but I think it actually is a Maryland. Have you ever
Oh,
heard
it's,
of tomato aspic?
absolutely. It was a big dish at the Maryland, the Women's Industrial Exchange.
Yes,
it was.
yes.
Yeah, that was a staple.
Right.
People
Yes.
absolutely loved
Loved
that.
it. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, you can do so many things with tomatoes, and you could make a tomato sandwich.
And there's nothing
All right,
better than that.
give me your recipe for a tomato sandwich.
Well, you need a really good red tomato. And
Uh-huh.
I mean, the best month to eat a tomato sandwich, I would say, would be August,
Yep.
because you can't beat the tomatoes in August.
Absolutely.
And then you need a center slice, maybe 2 slices. You need a little bit of salt and real mayonnaise. I'm actually a big fan of that Duke's.
Dudes, I
mayonnaise.
love Dudes.
I love the Duke
I
too.
like that.
Oh,
Yes.
That's what we're
Dukes.
using at the restaurant. right
Yes,
now.
I am. I think that's a great.
And we are not sponsored
Oh,
by
we're not
Dukes.
yet.
Just mentioning that. We just really like Dukes. I'm sorry.
And a little salt and white bread, just standard
White
white
bread.
bread.
Uh-huh.
Actually cheap white bread.
Yeah.
cheap white bread.
Cheap
white bread.
You will not
But-
find that at
No,
Harford.
no
Look,
names.
look at that.
Oh,
Yes.
see, he
Look
does
at-
not do things.
Yes,
Look at that.
That is a perfect.
Is that a
slice.
beautiful,
That
is that a beautiful center
I
cut
love
it.
or
It is.
what?
And it's not even August, and that's a gorgeous.
I think it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think it's
Well,
beautiful.
we've had some pretty hot weather this
Yes,
year
we have.
so
that's it,
far.
that's
So
it,
I think
that's
it's
what
really
tomatoes need.
speeded things up a whole lot.
Yep,
I agree.
I'm pre-
yes.
I'm
And
pretty
you know,
sure.
the first tomato in your garden is
It's
such a
treat.
milestone. And my father, my grandfather, a lot of my relatives, that a constant conversation would be when your tomatoes
Yeah.
are.
Oh, yeah.
coming in.
Yeah.
And,
That-
and who had the first tomato?
exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, people talk about it all the time, even in cities, because people are
Yes,
growing
Giving
in
us so many-
backyards,
This is wonderful.
and that's the conversation.
Conversation.
So how are they doing?
Uh-huh.
Are you having problems with them? When
Right.
they come up?
And
And da, da,
it's
da,
all
da,
this
da, da.
monitoring,
Yeah.
which is wonderful,
Yeah.
actually. I
It-
really love people that get passionate about their food.
It's
growing it.
so great, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it
It
is.
really is. So this is a good time to interject something that is a great resource for all of you out there, and tell your friends, tell your neighbors, is the Maryland's Best program. Maryland's Best highlights everything from around the state. It gives you access to CSAs, local farms, dairies, ice cream, and it also has a really nifty thing. It shows you what is in season when.
Right.
So when you're not quite sure
Yeah.
what's
Mhm.
what, you can go to it. So they have a fantastic website, and it's called marylandsbest.net. So great resource for all of us, really,
Yes,
around
if
that.
you want to source for local chicken or local cheese, they can find the farm closest to you wherever you are in the state.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty
It is.
awesome.
And John, at the library, we are developing an agricultural focused buy local page, and that will be one of the links too. So you can go to one
Oh,
side
that's fun.
and go find all about Kate's Bloomsburg, or wherever you would like to. go.
Wherever else.
Wherever
Yeah.
else.
No, exactly. That's part of the mission here. And part of the reason that we're here with you is to be cheerleaders, to get people to meet the people who grow the food for you, to understand where it comes from, and to support that. How many times I've heard a million times people saying, oh, I remember when I was young, there would be farms here and there. Oh, I remember when I was young, there would be this and that and the other thing. And then they say, well, that's not anymore. I said, well, it is here. And it's happening everywhere. And the only way it's going to continue and grow is you get your pocketbook out or your wallet and
Exactly.
spend the money.
Especially on the East Coast, in this
Yeah.
part of the country where the farms are getting smaller.
Yeah,
The key to it is connecting with the public. Yep.
yeah.
For
It's
the
good.
farmers and the public. The
Absolutely.
farmers need to get out there and connect with the public as much as the public needs to connect with. the farmers.
It's true. It's true. And I know, like from my own chefs, we try to take them to different farm visits, and they get to know the people. We have a little garden in the back that that we grow things. It gives you a whole different appreciation for that food when you've either grown it or the people that grow it. The connection is amazing. It
is
really
amazing,
is.
Yes.
And the best part is using local products when the tomatoes come in August, and the various ways you can prepare them.
Yeah.
You can make tomato sauce, you can do all sorts of things with them, even in sandwiches. And that's what I discovered over the past year and a half is when I would get a box of produce and then figure out how am I going to use it that week, and learning different things. And trust me, my husband and my sister and my mom all benefited from that. And it was just learning something different and using what you have.
Yes.
Yes,
You know,
using what you
using
have,
what you
and that's a whole new
have.
concept.
Yeah,
For some people.
it really
Yes, it's
is.
so important.
Mhm.
to-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
to
is.
Open your cupboard and say, what can I do with all of
Yep.
this? And that's what our grandparents did. I mean,
Exactly.
that's
Mhm.
And the other thing that you have to remember, we were waiting for July
Oh, it's
and
nice.
August for the tomatoes. We're waiting for the basil. In the spring, we were waiting for the asparagus and the strawberries. And it's only has a small window, and it's a delayed gratification.
exactly.
And to not have something all the time, to get it when it's at the peak of its season locally, gives you a greater appreciation for food. It
Yes.
really, really
It
does.
certainly does.
All right, so while I'm talking, and we're just waxing about all things local.
Now, is that basil you put around?
Yeah, there's some
Okay.
beautiful fresh
It
basil.
smells
Here you can
beautiful.
put some behind your ear.
I know, I
It
could.
goes like that.
I love
It's
basil.
really
I do
nice.
too.
I love it.
And Kate is also a cheese maker, in case you don't know that, and you go up to Brooms Bloom. And you're making fresh mozzarella
I
now, are you not?
I
Yeah.
am. I've made it about 6 times with a
Yeah.
lot of, yes, we're getting very good at it.
So
It looks delightful.
I think there's not anything better really than, some beautiful fresh mozzarella and some fresh tomatoes, like local Maryland tomatoes. You put that together. I'm going to talk about making a little sandwich.
And mozzarella is a very easy cheese to make. Although I have to say I have not made it successfully every time, but it's one of those cheeses you can make at home,
Yeah,
and it gives you a great feeling of success once you've done it. But it's
Yeah.
one of those basic cheeses you can make at home.
yeah. It's kind of like a ricotta is
Yes.
always pretty easy too.
Yes.
So,
You can do it with grocery store milk or Brooms Bloom milk,
Yeah.
wherever you get your milk.
well, there we go.
Oh my
We
God,
have some
it is
gorgeous
beautiful.
tomatoes and the mozzarella and the whole thing here and the basil. And we're going to pass this off. And now we're going to start talking about salads, and we're going to talk about another iconic Chesapeake, Maryland dish, right? It swims. People are scared of it. Some people say it looks like a spider. People who aren't from here think, why do you eat those things? But we know because we grew up with the beautiful blue crab.
Oh,
And so I think we're going to I need a pound of blue crab over here, please. And
thank you. I like the magic people over here.
we need magic people. We need magic in our lives. So right here, I have 1 pound
Mm.
of Maryland crab meat from J.M. Clayton's in Cambridge,
Oh, in
Maryland.
Cambridge,
Oh,
right. Aren't
Absolutely.
they like the capital of crabs?
They
in
are
Maryland?
indeed. Let me grab.
Talk about
right here so that you can-
Historic Maryland
Yeah.
industry.
It is. It's the oldest seafood processing and packing house
Us in the
in
the
Maryland and on the Chesapeake Bay.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So look at this.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous.
And it's all hand-picked, correct?
Yep, it's
Yep.
handpicked. This is some of the best crab meat in the world. And
Yeah.
in my mind, it is the best crab meat in the world. But I do have to say, in all honesty, that this year crab is very scarce. Pickers are very scarce. And so this is some of the highest prices of crab meat in history. I mean, we're at the top of it right now. So it's a good idea when you're using crab meat like this, obviously, to use it carefully, but I encourage people to use it in dishes that you can stretch it. So where before, I could make crab cakes out of this, and maybe I can feed 3 or 4 people. But if we put it in a big salad or a big casserole, we can feed 8, 10, 12 people. So you're going to stretch the dollars and stretch the precious protein. All right, let's grab some bowls
I
here.
have some bowls for you.
So we're going to start off with making a little bit of vinaigrette here. And put those right over there. Okay, here comes all the goodness that we need.
I have to laugh. My Grace is not my middle name, and I'm doing this.
Lovely. All right, we're getting all the stuff together here for this. This is actually, not only is it tasty, it's a beautiful, it's a really, really pretty dish.
That's a nice whisk.
I love anything with sweet corn in it. I am like a corn-fed girl.
I know. All right, great. We'll take these here. Okay. Now let me grab my recipe here because as they said, I do try to follow the recipes these days as opposed to how I don't. All right, so I'm gonna start off here with a few tablespoons of olive oil. About 1, 2, 3.
That like warms my heart that you measure that way.
That's the way I do it.
That's the way I
And-
measure.
And actually, this is one from the farmer's market.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, those are wonderful.
Yeah,
they're
in Bel Air.
They're in
in
Bel
Bel
Air.
Air.
Yeah, this is Dimitri olive oil.
Oh,
Yep.
they're
So it's the
wonderful.
closest thing you could possibly get to local olive oil
Yeah.
because Dimitri's from Baltimore,
Mhm.
but he's from a Greek family and they have a
Yeah.
farm in Sparta. and they're tending the olives, and they process them there and bring them back here. And I honestly, I think
It's
that
the best
it is
olive
the-
oil
look
in
at
the
it,
universe.
look at it. It's just,
It's, yeah.
yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna cut a lime here. So this will give a really nice flavor to this salad. Get a bunch of lime juice in there. And you could use, I mean, you can sometimes get bottled lime juice.
Oh,
I wouldn't use like the real lime that comes in
That
the
comes in a little
squeezy
thing.
thing.
No, 'cause
That's
kinda
not my favoriteest.
fake. No.
But in a pinch, it could do. But also in some stores, you can actually find little bottles of freshly squeezed lime
Lime.
juice. So that is optimal if you can do it. Put that there like that. So while I'm doing this,
Mhm. What would you like us to
if
do?
you like, I can give you something to do.
All right.
Okay, now the thing we're making today is a corn, crab, and red pepper salad, right?
Yep.
Operative word besides the crab is the corn.
Corn.
So I think I got this from Barton.
Oh, Barton, now,
Yeah.
now do you know the name of the variety?
I don't know the name of this variety. Maybe you'll know when you
Well, do we know?
husk
Well,
husk that.
Can you tell?
Well, I
Looks
know.
nice.
Now, when I was a child, the best corn was always Silver Queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
You had it
yeah.
everywhere.
But they
It
don't make
was,
it anymore.
well,
No.
you know, they just like everything else,
Super
they,
sweets.
it wouldn't be as sweet today if we had it. Although there are people that still grow it, and it has a very, I would call it a vintage taste.
Mhm.
But with the development of all these other really
Sure.
sweet.
Now, I have to say, I think Maryland corn has always been, I don't know, the king or queen of
Yeah.
corn on the East Coast, in my humble opinion.
Well,
I know New Jersey and New York all claim the same, but.
I know, I
Carol
know.
thinks it's Baltimore and
Well,
Maryland.
I mean, we are a little bit biased, but I think we're right.
Right.
I think we're right.
Now,
So-
now did
Uh-huh.
Silver Queen originate in Maryland? Is that a Maryland?
That's what I had read, is that it originated there. And then
Because, you know.
over time, they found that some of the hybrids were actually sweeter than
And
the
then,
Silver
yeah,
Queen
exactly,
corn.
and that's really what's kind of
And,
happened. to
yeah,
it.
and
It's just
they
a
were more
shame.
consistently sweet,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what they did.
But,
So right now, I just made,
Yes.
there's a lot going on. We have people husking corn. I'm cutting things, but basically to make this salad, what you want to do is use a very good olive oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, lime juice, and that basically gives you your vinaigrette. A nice red bell pepper, sweet bell. You know, a lot of people say, I don't want a red bell pepper, it's going to be hot. It's not hot at
Yes.
all. They're sweet. That's why they call them sweet bell peppers. And they're delicious.
they're delicious.
I
They
do,
are.
I do like.
It
I'm
was,
growing peppers this summer.
Are you?
I have gotten 2 of the sweet banana peppers,
Uh-huh.
or 4, excuse me, I've gotten 4 that have taken off.
now I have a question about
Yes.
bell peppers. When I was a child in my grandfather's garden, there were green peppers that always turned to red peppers.
Yes.
And it is
But-
the same one.
It is the same one. Now, so is that exactly what's happening
That's
today?
exactly
They have
it.
not developed cultivars of just red peppers.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes. And people don't realize that, but it's true.
It's true, and they
It's
get
true.
sweeter.
as
redder-
the
yes,
older
I'd
they
say
get,
yes.
yes.
Yes,
So I'm not a vegetable expert. I know a lot about
and
that.
definitely not, but I
There.
actually knew that.
Okay, so I'm gonna,
Well, I'm
I
saying,
don't know why.
they've changed everything.
Yeah. The corn
Including
may
corn.
change. Yeah.
Now, canning houses were so popular, you know, that was a major agricultural industry in Maryland in the early 1900s.
it was,
They were
it
canning,
was massive.
yes, canning is, and it was because we were so close to the railroad system and they
yeah.
were so easily
Into the
distributed
bay,
and
the
the bay.
seafood,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, Canton, Fells Point, all
Yes.
up and down
All
the
up and down.
Patapsco, they were all canneries.
Canneries.
And barges would come from the Eastern
Right.
Shore and from truck farms
Right,
all around here.
Right, and it was
and
because we
turn
had
it
such a
into-
great transportation system. And then I think when the South started growing vegetables year round and,
Mhm.
you know, there was some.
And California.
California
And-
kind of
Refrigeration came.
Refrigeration.
refrigeration,
That
that kind of.
changed the world.
And
just,
then the interstate highway system.
Yes.
That changed everything.
Everything.
It changed
Right.
absolutely
Right, it was
everything.
no longer railroad.
All right, so who wants to get some corn kernels off here for me?
All right, I'm
Come on.
I
pretty
think
good
Kate's
at
an
this.
expert on
I'm
this
pretty
one.
good
I
All
at
right.
this.
You don't want me to hold one of those knives.
Yeah, I actually do this a lot. I grew up doing this.
Wow. I do it when it's cooked.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
actually do too. That's when I do it. Now, my grandmother and I used to can corn. And she would like parboil it
Yeah,
and then put it in baggies.
and you could do
And
the
it was
same
so
thing with
excellent.
this.
Okay.
You could drop it into some boiling water and count to 10,
Yes,
Okay.
and then put it in ice water.
that's
Just
exactly
to,
what she
just
did.
to shock it. But technically, summer corn at the height of the season, and you take it off here, you don't need to do anything else. You can eat it. It
You-
can
you
go
can eat
right
it
in
raw.
that, it can go right in that
Yeah,
salad.
yep.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have heard
yeah,
that many
yeah.
times.
So that's exactly
What
how
we're
this
gonna do-
salad
Now,
works.
yeah, I have a lot of silk in this because I'm not a professional. Now, I am a big fan of this milky part.
Oh, it's great, isn't
That
it?
is like,
So what do you do with it? Tell us.
well, I'm just a fan of what it tastes like. I think it's like some of the best taste in the corn comes from this, So my grandmother always had me scrape it like this. And if you
Ah.
didn't scrape it, she would make you go back.
Well, I can
And
see
then
you
the milk goes into the
it.
corn
Yes.
and gives it a great flavor.
Yes.
And you can also use the corn cobs and, put it all together and make a nice little stock. All right, here we go. Put the rest of
You
these
you
in
can
here.
cook with the corn cob?
Yeah, you put them
Yes,
into a
it's a
pot, make
great
a little
seasoning.
stock.
Wow, I'm
And
learning all sorts of
If you ever do a
things.
chicken corn chowder.
Oh,
there-
yes, I
Oh,
love
there,
chicken.
yeah. it's so much-
Okay, a little bit of red onion,
Red onion is awesome.
and here are the more of the bell peppers. We have some red and
And
green in
green.
there.
We
Put
love
that
bell
off.
peppers.
Gonna take a little bit of garlics, because we like garlic
We
and
do.
everything.
I'm a big garlic
Do we not? We just
Oh, we
love
love
that. We
garlic.
love that quite a bit. Gonna take just a
Oh.
little bit of hot sauce here, real quick like.
Now,
And-
what Tabasco? Do you have a preferred brand?
Well, I mean, I just use Tabasco most of the time, but there's so many local hot sauces now
Yes,
that
yeah,
are awesome.
they are. You're
So
right.
it's definitely, so then we're just gonna take this and put it all over there. And then I'm gonna take and shake a little bit of Old Bay. We all know the Old Bay. Put a little bit of Old Bay here. Like so. And I have some cilantro,
Oh,
some beautiful cilantro,
Mhm.
like so. And then we're gonna take the very precious crab meat. So depending on what you're gonna do with it, generally for this, in the recipe, it says it can be anywhere from a half a pound to a pound. So depending on how much you want to, stretch this thing, you could do that.
now would
And-
you call this back fin
This is lump.
lump?
This is
Okay.
lump. And what I also would suggest, if you, let's say you want to go for the gusto and you want to feed a whole lot of people,
Uh-huh.
you could also take like some elbow macaroni and cook it
Oh.
off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Put that in there as well. Then you could have a great big bowl, use the 1 pound of crab and feed a whole
lot.
crowd of people. So anyway, here we go.
Okay.
So this is our sweet corn
Oh
crab.
my God,
That's
it's
salad.
beautiful. It is beautiful, John.
Beautiful.
All right. we're gonna-
Yeah, tell me the difference between like a back fin and a lump and the taste differences.
That's a very good question. It kind of sounds like what it is, when we take a crab, you have the back fin, that's by the swimming legs. And when you break into that, you're gonna find some really, really, really big lumps, that is jumbo lump. Then you're gonna find additional lumps, that's lump. Then you go into the rest of the crab and whatever's left in the back fin, and that used to be called regular or special. And that's that. Basically, the taste, except for the claw, because the claw is really sweet.
Claw is actually my favorite.
I
in
love,
a lot of ways.
I do, I love that. Otherwise, the taste isn't so different. It's the mouthfeel.
Okay.
It's getting that great
That
big.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, now it's time we're gonna switch this set around. But when we're having that time of the picnic,
Yes.
what happens at that time of the picnic? Well, it's kind of like I scream, you scream, and we all scream for ice cream. All right, I think it's ice cream
My
time.
favorite.
My favorite.
Yeah.
As you can tell from the video, it's my favorite.
Uh-huh.
Never get tired of
We
ice
did love that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
So Kate, maybe you can tell us and everyone out there, how did you get into the ice cream business? How did that happen?
Well, I've always loved ice cream, but we kind of stumbled upon it. We wanted to open a little store on our farm, and we were looking at a product that we thought people would remember, and they would come back repeatedly for, and where at the time we sold cheese and eggs and pork sausage. We didn't think that would quite make people remember where we were. So we discovered ice cream, and we were like, man, this is the ticket. If we can make a really good ice cream, people would definitely remember it. So
People always remember ice
they
cream.
do. And ice cream is one of those things that trigger childhood memories, and you people know oftentimes have a favorite ice cream store from their youth. They also have a favorite ice cream.
They do. Everybody has a
And a
favorite.
favorite.
All right,
Yes.
what's your favorite ice cream?
Well, I love the lemon. I also
Uh-huh.
make an ice cream out of local sweet corn, which is why I could cut that so well. It all depends on the season. I really am into the seasonal flavors. At Christmas time, I love the peppermint. We do a great ginger snap. I don't know. I have a lot.
And fig, isn't it fig ice cream that you were talking about earlier?
I do a fig Newton that
Yeah.
has fig jam in it. Yes,
Mm.
that's very good.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
That's so good.
I'm always thinking of ice cream and ice cream flavors and what I can do and combinations of things.
Yeah,
That's one reason I like it so much. It's very creative.
it is fun, isn't it?
It's very fun.
Because you
It's-
can do a little of
right.
this, a little of that, make it, and then it's your signature dish,
Exactly,
really, isn't it?
yes, and
Which-
it's hard to make a bad ice cream, honestly.
Yeah.
Not to say I haven't done it, but it's difficult. Any combination of anything mixed with ice cream,
All right.
Usually works.
it usually works.
Yeah. Well, I go to the market most every Saturday, and Kate has big sign with all kinds of ice creams every week. And often when we're going to do anything and talk about it, I generally say, well, what should I get? What's the best thing for us to get? And you always kind of steer me in the right direction.
Well, I normally always have a specialty one that I've worked on that week, and I'm anxious to have you try it, John.
So now when you're making an ice cream, you tell me what the basic ingredients are for your ice cream.
Well, we make our own ice cream mix, as you saw in the video, and so milk, cream, stabilizer, sugar, and then a lot of them have vanilla added, but not all. It all depends. It's very diverse. You can make sweet, savory ice creams. You can make. We used to do a habanero pineapple ice cream. We need to actually bring that one back, which was like a hot sweet thing.
Yeah.
So you can basically make ice cream with anything. Now, one of my favorite summer ice creams, and we start making it around June 21st. It's one of those things people have to wait for, is lemon, and that actually is one of my favorites. It's like a lemon chiffon.
It is.
It's a great texture.
Now, when Kate had me at the farmer's market, and the first time she told me, she goes, "Oh, I have a lemon ice cream." I thought, I have never had lemon ice cream. I've had lemon sorbet. I've had all kinds of things, lemon flavor, but never a lemon ice cream. So I got it, and I got some for myself, and I got some for the restaurant. It is unbelievable. absolutely unbelievable.
It has a very, very strong tart lemon taste, which took me a little while to create. I had to really think about what I was going to add to it to give it that very sharp taste. And I came up with dehydrated lemon that we have somewhere here.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we use
exactly.
this True lemon brand, but I do know there's others. That's really one of the keys to it. But if you really want like a little special little zest, you need to crush up some lemon heads.
Lemon.
Oh my
Lemonade.
God.
Lemon.
Oh my
yes.
God.
Oh
We
my-
got
it's
some
like
crazy stuff
fireball.
going on.
Yeah.
Me too.
All right, so we don't have all the equipment that Kate has. She has like some really swanky equipment, but you don't really always have to have that to make a nice ice cream. So you could make an ice cream with kind of making like a creme anglaise. You could do it with just whole milk and with
Yes.
eggs. You can do all kinds of things. But I've used this recipe. It was actually a recipe for cinnamon ice cream, and I've used it for years. And so when you were talking about this, I thought, wonder if we could do
A lemon with the same thing.
with the same kind of thing. So it basically, ladies and gentlemen, uses sweetened condensed milk. And this is, like a 14-ounce kind of can.
Can't go wrong with sweet.
Sweet
Oh,
condensed
yeah.
milk, right?
Anything.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just
Anything.
delicious.
Okay, so that seemed pretty easy too,
Oh,
right?
look, you have that.
I'm ready. I'm ready for those little round things.
All right. So
We-
Kate
I just don't want to break the marble.
No, break the bar- for the-
actually has a dairy. And so she brought us some
some
of the
Brooms
milk,
Bloom milk.
and I had some half and half there.
Yeah,
So we're gonna put,
And your milk is wonderful.
Thank you.
I mean, you can tell we're big fans.
okay, so all together between whole milk and a little bit of half and half, it's 4 cups. That's pretty easy, right?
Yep.
So far, I think we're doing pretty well. All right, so all we have to do is
Stir
this,
that
the sweetened condensed milk is very syrupy, and
That's why we like it.
but it stabilizes
It's just
stabilizes
like
the base.
stabilizers that we add,
Yeah.
and it adds your sugar, it
Yeah.
adds your sweetness.
Yeah, if you notice, we didn't put any sugar
Right,
in here at all. It was just the sweetened condensed milk. So basically, we stir that around like so, right? So Kate, where's our
All right.
real lemon?
Oh,
Here, True
right
Lemon.
here, yes.
True
Yep.
lemon. We have some true lemon. So
Now,
When-
you can get little packets of this, and
What do
this actually easier to find than these big packets. And I think John measured it out that you would need 6 little packets,
yeah,
or one this size.
I think I used 3 or 4 little.
Oh,
Little
packets,
packs.
okay,
Yes, here we actually have some of the original little
Yep.
pack one there.
yes.
So that's what you could get in the store, and that's about a teaspoon
Yes.
in
yes.
there. So
So,
I
I-
just
You don't have to go crazy with it, or you'll really be puckering
Now,
up.
what do you normally?
here.
use
I'm gonna
this
let you
for?
do it.
Okay,
And what do you?
I'll
use
stir,
real
you do
lemon?
it, and then we'll see
Okay.
where we are with that.
okay, so we're gonna do. So you did about 4 of these.
Yeah, 3 or 4. So let's
Four.
try 3.
Mine are probably.
You can always add more, but you
Yes,
can
and
never
I-
take it out.
I
Remember
learned-
that.
I've
Remember
learned
that.
that many times.
Okay, so we're gonna stir that around like a so. And then we have the really nifty things of the lemon head candies.
Yes.
Wow.
If you're searching for the lemon heads in the general Harford County area, I have all of them.
And then I have the rest.
And then,
Yes, you do.
I have the rest right here. So one of the things that we can do, and this is kind of therapeutic.
it is.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Okay,
I don't want to break your calendar.
okay,
Are you
okay.
sure? Okay.
Here, we're
Are you
gonna-
sure you
John
should
should
be doing
do
this?
this, so it's on
I
his
wish
short,
we-
it's not mine.
I can't see what, see if we were in my kitchen, there'd be all kinds of surfaces. It would be appropriate.
Yeah,
to
mine
use
too.
that.
You could do it on
Hammer on, but
anything.
John-
I don't care. I'll let John.
So anyway, what I'm doing is just
Oh, yeah.
smacking
Yes.
Okay.
the lemon head, and then we're gonna crush it up. Now, the real way to do it, the best way to do this is kind of the faux way,
Yes.
is I crush it first like this, and and then get the Cuisinart out.
Yes.
And
yes.
then run it through the Cuisinart just to get it a little bit.
That's what
Fine.
we do. We have this giant, this industrial thing that it makes a ton of noise. It's like a bunch of BBs.
Exactly. And so we didn't want to do that to you today because with all the
Really?
microphones
Yeah.
around here, if we had to turn that on, it really would have been an unpleasant experience
Right.
for you.
But if you leave these a little bigger, they'll be like little crystallized,
Yeah.
like little, special treats in your ice cream.
They
Yeah.
are. It's just amazing. I love this.
Now, and if you want to do a Baltimore version of this,
Yeah.
you can add peppermint
Oh.
stick, and even a little peppermint oil.
Look at that.
Peppermint?
We
Yeah.
actually have peppermint sticks, so you could. That'd be a great addition. Just grind those up as well.
Yes,
Put
yep.
some of those
Mhm.
in there.
And a
Oh,
little
doesn't
bit
that
of,
smell good?
a little
I
bit of
just wanna drink
peppermint
it.
oil.
Oh, my
Good,
God.
I know.
I know.
I never
So-
get tired of lemon ice cream.
So since Kate makes this in big batches, when we talked it through, we weren't quite sure what was going to happen.
Right.
So I played around with it and I came up with that for a regular batch of this, it's about 8 of these lemon heads and about three packages of the real lemon. And
that is, that's really very affordable. This whole recipe is very affordable.
Oh, my
It's-
God,
it-
yeah.
It's the condensed milk. You go to your bulk candy place and get, a handful of lemon heads.
look at that.
You can grab those little lemon packets.
All right, let's see. We'll see what we did.
Part of
I'm gonna
that,
get you. I'm gonna get you both spoons. And you're gonna have to tell me.
You can drink it.
Just
Yeah, actually, you can drink it at
Give
this
us some
point.
mug.
There you go. What do you think? Should we put a little bit more of the?
I like it. I probably add a little more of that.
Of this?
I have been,
That's what I'm
I've been
thinking
known to
too.
be a woman of excess, but I would.
No, because
Yeah.
the one,
Right, you don't
Yeah.
want it not to be.
Correct.
You don't
Right, that
want
is
them to
correct.
wonder what it is you're trying to make.
look at that. I mean,
That
it's
is
already, oops,
beautiful.
there it goes.
It's even a beautiful color.
It's kind of creamy. Look at
Yeah.
It looks yummy.
Now, how long will it take in here? I've never actually used one of these.
it. All right, I'm gonna,
Oh,
gra-
I'm gonna
I'm
move
gonna,
out of the
gra-
way.
I'm gonna grab the bowl
That's
for you
equipment.
here.
Yes.
You all plug it in for me. Plug it.
Thank you. That is good. Yeah. All right, this does look yummy.
does.
I could
You
just
could
drink
drink
it. Really, I could just drink it. It's awesome.
Be a topping
So
for some other
I've
stuff.
never used anything like this.
I
so
haven't
this is
either.
gonna be interesting.
I had an old fashioned one where you
Let
put
me get
that.
out of the way. so
Yeah,
you
I
can-
hadn't done this either until
Cool.
yesterday. So this is a Cuisinart
Sure.
ice cream maker. It's a little, it makes, I think like 1.5 quarts.
Now, do you have to put it in your freezer
Yeah,
too, John? So this is like your frozen, you've taken this out of your freezer.
Yeah, so I had that in there.
Oh.
You want it in for about 16 to 24
Okay,
hours.
okay,
And then you just take it and you sit it in the base. And this kind of,
right,
This
is
is the
your
turnaround.
dasher, your
That's right.
dasher,
yeah.
yeah,
And so you put that with the round side.
yeah.
It doesn't come over.
It's got a cord.
So anyway,
We'll describe that. what
we're
doing.
going to describe this to you.
Okay.
I'll just pour that.
In.
And yeah, make sure you don't get it on the outside of it. Yeah, I know, there's some.
Wow.
Just
Pour it, John.
just like so.
Uh-huh.
Voila.
Mhm.
And then you put this handy dandy cover on it.
Okay.
Like that.
Sounds good.
And there it goes.
That's
Now,
it.
how long does it take?
Less than 20 minutes.
Oh, my
Wow.
gosh.
Less than 20 minutes.
That's
I
amazing.
I think it took like about 15 minutes last night. So let's see what we have.
Yummy.
Let's see what we have here.
Oh, and that's last night's ice
This is
cream.
last night's ice cream. All I have to do is get it off.
Want me to help you? Yep, you got it.
Whoopa!
Ah,
Whoopa! Look at this.
ba-bam.
Ba-bam.
Good job.
So we're gonna let that sit out there for a second, and then let me grab another pudding board here. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Mary Hastler. She has been so excited about this from the time we started planning this whole thing. What did you tell me? What it was the summertime favorite?
Oh my gosh, lemons and a peppermint stick is amazing. It's a real tradition in Baltimore. It's actually in the book of Little Women too, by Louisa May Alcott.
Is
So-
it?
Oh yeah, it's featured there. Poor little Amy got in trouble with her lemons, but hey, it's part of the story.
All right, I'm
this is
I'm
awesome.
gonna let you at it. I ran around last night
Getting
looking
lemon,
for peppermint sticks,
Now, where did you end up finding?
Eddie's.
Eddie's.
And
Oh, they're the
this
good
is,
ones.
this is actually a local kind of
Oh,
candy
good.
producer. And they make these lovely, beautiful peppermint sticks.
Did you know you can cut really well when you have a good knife? Just a little tip.
It does help, doesn't it?
really does.
Now, do you put a little sugar on top of yours or not?
What do you do?
What do you
I'm
do?
going
Tell
with
us.
you.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I had thought, but you know, I make ice
Okay.
cream, so I add sugar to everything.
I do
And there's
too.
the sugar.
And I'm from, I love sugar on everything too, honey.
I have a stick, I got one stick out
Nice
there.
little sugar. This is a big 4th of July thing at
It
my house.
Is it?
I have a cousin that makes them every
Mhm.
year. We always look forward to it. It's the only time of the year I get them. I know
Yeah.
it's the 4th when she
Yeah.
shows up with her lemon
Did you
stick.
get your lemon stick in?
So one of the things that you can do, if I can find a little knife here, I'll show you.
Make a little indentation in.
Oh, that would
Oh,
be
that would be
better. That'd be
helpful.
fancy.
Good
Just-
job,
Oh,
Jake.
wow.
You just kind of make a little
Yeah.
There you
X in
go.
there,
Yes.
like the things that you get at IKEA, you have to
Right.
put together.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can put it in the exact
Then-
I
middle.
love it.
then theoretically, it should-
Yes.
you want to try one?
Sure.
All right, here we go. So I know there's going to be all over Maryland, there's going to be a run on lemon sticks
Lemon
coming
sticks.
up,
Extra.
and also
Right.
on lemon ice cream.
And lemon heads.
And lemon heads.
I hope the lemon head
I
people are
made
ready.
you one, honey.
Oh, thank
You're
you. This is my
welcome.
first summertime one.
Oh my gosh, this is a tradition, and I wonder how many folks at home remember doing this too, many times.
Oh
So
my God, it looks so
it
good.
looks good. It does.
All right, now we have some, you brought some cheeses and things here.
Okay.
Want to bring those up?
Absolutely.
All right.
Oh my gosh, they're beautiful.
So not only does Kate make amazing ice cream, she is a talented cheesemaker.
Well, my family is. I have
Oh, hot honey.
2 daughters and a niece and a wonderful cousin that all make cheese with me.
And
And
we just have, she's making some
Yes.
beautiful things.
Yes.
This is a
These
Crestwell
are,
cheddar.
so these are fresh cheese curds. Now, if we were in the Midwest, everyone would know what these were. In
Yeah.
fact, they'd be buying them at the gas station. They're very, very popular.
In Wisconsin,
In
you can get them
Wisconsin.
absolutely
And
everywhere.
that's where I learned about them. And so these were actually made on Wednesday. They were made, today's Thursday, they were made yesterday. We made these cheese curds yesterday. So they should still squeak if we open them up, which
They'd
is.
be all squeaky,
Yes.
squeaky.
Yeah,
So why
and
do
then
they
this is a
squeak?
mozzarella.
tell me about.
Well, they squeak when they're at the freshest. It
Okay.
has to do with like a moisture salt
Okay.
ratio. Yep. And then we do aged cheddars. I just started doing a mozzarella. Cheese making has been a lot of fun. It's very precise. It's completely different than ice cream making, where it's hard to go wrong making ice cream. Man, you can go wrong making cheese. But I'm learning a great deal.
You light up when you talk about making the cheese. I mean,
Yes.
you can tell you
Right.
really love
Well,
it.
it's
a passion.
yes,
Yeah.
it's kind of, been making ice cream now for 17 years, so I was ready to add something, and cheese has been a new
Mhm.
exciting thing to learn,
Yeah.
and has challenged me in a lot of ways, and I think I needed to be challenged in those
Sure.
ways. And it's been wonderful for our farm. It's amazing to be able to produce the milk right on the farm and make products for our community. It's just an amazing feeling.
And the
you know?
community and beyond, because I know you're down here at the Waverly
Yes.
Market,
Yep,
and
we've
I
been
know
here.
John.
Everywhere, we use it at
Yes.
the restaurant.
And
Yeah.
that's the best part about
Right.
this is Maryland, we're really fortunate to have folks like you
We
everywhere.
really are.
you know.
We have a great agricultural preservation
Yeah.
program in Harford County and in the state of Maryland. And to keep those farmers productive as well as that farm preserved, we've really got to work on We've got to get
We
people
do.
buying local and
Absolutely.
focusing on their local communities.
And get to know I know, John said.
I know what you're up to.
10 minutes. So
Uh-huh.
one of my favorites, which I discovered this year, was your chocolate milk. Now, I drink chocolate milk, but not all the time. And I tried this, and I swear if I could bury my face in it,
Oh my
I
God.
would. It
is
is
so
the
good.
best
Well, I will,
chocolate milk in the universe. I mean, truly, it is a dessert. So if you want to have something slightly different in the evening, rather than having ice cream, you can put a little of this in your shot glass. You could add something if you would like. It truly is amazing, and I've
That is
never raved
wonderful.
about milk before.
that,
in my
well,
life.
I'm thrilled and my husband is thrilled because this is what he creates. The
Really?
chocolate milk. He worked a long time on his chocolate milk.
Tell
so
him it is a gold medal winner
I
in Mary's
will, I
eyes.
will.
And yeah, it's just amazing. And I bet you can make ice cream out of it.
You
too.
could, yeah.
Absolutely. We could actually use the same recipe. So
Wow.
instead of using the other regular milk in it, just put that
The
chocolate milk in.
And you could add some peanut butter with it, or you
Oh,
could do,
peanut butter.
yeah, you could do salty caramel with your
Oh,
chocolate
salted
milk.
caramel.
Coconut, yeah.
Coconut. Okay, not so much coconut. The salted caramel
Salted caramel.
got my
Mint chocolate.
Ooh,
All right,
All right, here we
There
go.
you
Oh
go.
my gosh, thank you.
here you go.
Okay, this is my favorite part of the show.
All right, now
All right.
we get to
Okay.
actually have a little bit of ice
Oh
cream
my
here
gosh.
live on our
And
show.
we're really eating it. This isn't fake.
Mhm.
Mm. Wow, this is a really good recipe.
Oh my God, it's really good.
It's good, isn't it?
It's
It turned
good.
out really, really
did
well.
turn out great.
So we want to thank you so much for being with us for our first farm and bay to table class. And thank you so much for coming and
Well-
being with us.
I'm thrilled to be here. I feel like you two are just amazing and I'm so happy and thrilled.
Happy you're here, Kate.
Yeah.
You know, we're just happy. We're happy to be here. We're happy to be supporting our ag friends, our seafood friends, the state of Maryland, Harford County and beyond, and everybody who's out there and to be able to start doing this.
Yes, yes, it's so important.
And and folks, I wanted to feature Kate first because she gives so much back to the community. And
Thank you.
other than the ice cream and chocolate milk and cheeses and
And
everything else.
calories.
And everything. But yeah, it's just been a great time. And
Well, thank you.
I want to remind everybody, our next show is July 22nd.
July 22nd,
Oh my
and
God.
it's a peachy
It's
life,
a
isn't it?
peachy line.
Yeah, you're gonna love that. So we're not leaving. We have things all over the place here, and we figure you probably have some questions because we've been doing a lot of things in this last hour. So send us your questions, your comments, what you'd like to see or what you need to hear. We're ready to go, right?
I agree, John. I know everybody always wants to know what kind of pots and pans you use.
Yeah.
After your last show for us, I went and got the silicone.
Oh, did ya?
pans because you talked about them so
Oh,
much.
they're so
Yes.
good, aren't they?
They're so good. Yes, I bought them, and of course, I'm always fascinated by things and knives. A little scared by them too. But this is really, I mean, this would be a fabulous party, simple, if you want to do for your family and friends. I mean, from start to finish, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing. And the ice cream alone is just amazing. But
It is.
anyway.
So do we have any questions? Anybody?
We do.
All right.
All right.
So Randy had a question about substituting grapeseed oil in both the barbecue and the dressing.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Grapeseed oil is phenomenal. It
Mhm.
really, really is. It has a wonderful flavor. It's nice, clean, good cooking temperatures. Yeah, I definitely would recommend that.
Okay. And then Cynthia had a question about what would you recommend she substitute for the Irish salt? If someone's watching their sodium intake.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, I just use Irish salt because I use Irish salt. You could use, what is it, Mrs. Dash?
Oh,
If
yeah.
you- If you were trying to,
Yes,
to watch
Yeah,
your
that adds
sodium.
a ton of flavor.
It does. It gives a whole lot of flavor. Or the other thing that you can use, you can just use some regular either table salt or kosher salt, but just a pinch. Use just a pinch. And many of us need, we do need to watch our sodium.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Good question.
That's what I said. Good question. And Megan said, where can I buy tomatoes like that? She lives in the city, and I answered.
The
what I think
Waverly
is the right
Farmers
answer.
Market.
That's what I.
The Waverly, the
Yes.
32nd Street Farmers
Farmers
Market,
Market is a
every
good place.
Saturday.
Yep.
Look it
Yeah.
up online. Phenomenal tomatoes.
It is. And I believe there's a market under
The bridge on Sunday.
under the bridge on Sunday on
and
the
there's-
Falls Way.
Yeah.
And there's all kind of local, in
There's
Towson, there's in Timonium,
Catonsville, Kenilworth.
Catonsville. Again, go back to marylandsbest.net.
Yes.
You can find out where all the,
Yeah.
best markets are,
Yeah.
what's in season, what you get each week.
Right.
You can find it
But
all
the
there.
best tomatoes are always timing. You just can't rush it. You can't rush a tomato.
That's true. And then Rosalind has a question that will make us giggle because we were actually talking about this before the show. What's your opinion of the new air fryers? Can the barbecue chicken recipe work in an air fryer?
Mayor?
I think, yes, you could do that. We discovered our air fryer during COVID and have been using it at home. And you can cook just about anything in the air fryer. There are tips and tricks to doing that. And we are all thinking of doing a show on air frying.
There is an air fryer sitting right offset here that I have not yet used. I have not a clue, but Mary has graciously offered, we're going to do a show all on the air fryer. And yes, you could do a barbecue
could.
chicken
You
in
could.
the air fryer. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And then Ruth wanted to know if you can suggest some alternatives to crab meat since it's so expensive right now and hard to get.
Well, there's a number of different ideas. You can mix things with crab meat to kind of extend it. We do a crab cake at the restaurant that we call, I can't believe it's not crab
And
cake.
is it
Actually, we had that
We had
tonight.
that tonight.
And
Yeah,
this one is zucchini. And we just grate the zucchini on the coarse part of the grater. We salt it a little bit, let the water drain, and then we squeeze it out. And then you make a crab cake batter.
Yeah, it's
You
excellent.
do need a little bit more binding, a little bit more breadcrumbs than you would with the crab cake, but that's absolutely delicious. You can use some of the Chesapeake Bay blue catfish.
Oh,
So what you could do is poach the catfish a little bit, bake it with a little bit of wine, salt, pepper, cool it, and then have a half a pound of that and a half a pound of crab meat. Mix them together. You're going to get a cake, a fish cake or a crab cake like you can't believe. So there's all kinds of ways you can kind of mix that up and stretch it, but still get some of that crab flavor.
That zucchini crab cake is
It's really
I'm
good.
telling you, it's amazing.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was
phenomenal.
fantastic.
From the dark here, it was
And
phenomenal.
zucchini comes in August,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
A lot of
And,
good zucchini.
and you're looking for ways
Wow.
to get rid of it.
You don't know what to
Yeah.
do with it.
Oh, I might actually take some this year.
Exactly.
Any more questions?
True. Everyone, you have so many great comments. Thank you for supporting local, for supporting Maryland. And so I just wanted to share those with you.
That's
And
great.
everyone wants the lemon ice cream recipe, which I said we'll have tomorrow at some point.
We will. And we sending it out to you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep, so everyone loved the show and thank you.
Yay! Group hug. All right, great. Make sure you sign up and come back and join us again for Farm and Bay to Table. And we're going to have a peachy life. So sign up for July 22nd.
July 22nd.
Bye. Love you guys.